From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And not only does he have all the skills that you're looking for as a quarterback, he's incredibly tough and plays the game fearlessly as both a runner and a passer. You provide a good running game around him and let him throw deep off of play action, you've got an all-star in the making.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Well, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down.
Here we go. Go.
Now Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Fields. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The Eagles send out their punter now. Saquon Barkley deep to return. And this will be taken at the 13. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. That ball caught by the rookie from Georgia. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Up the middle with Barkley. Oh, a heck of a move. The 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 49 yards. And And the Dolphins will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. And it will be an excellent return here all the way down inside the 25-yard line. What a play.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So nothing doing there, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw, Fields. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a third down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun, Fields. It's complete to Hopkins. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Here's 3rd and 6.
Here we go.
Here's Fields. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley from 6 yards away. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 14-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
No touch it. No touch it. No touch.
Here's Hurts to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
On 4th down, here's Pat McAfee to kick it away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Right.
From the gun, here's Fields. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Set. Set.
Fields now to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground, and they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll throw now on the final play. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 1-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. T.J. Watt, always a disruptor, there to blow that play up. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Hurts. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That one complete to McConkey. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
First down.
Barkley, inside handoff. Gets past one man. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 101 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. Hurts will throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. They didn't want the tie. They roll the dice and they take the lead.
That felt like a tone setter, didn't it? Forget tying the ball game and feeling like we're just hanging with you. We're going to go ahead and push it to a 1-point lead, and that just changes the complexion of the whole game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already know our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Here we go. Good.
In motion right is Watkins. Now it's Fields. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Allen. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go.
To throw is Fields. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The Dolphins offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
No touchdown. No touchdown. No touchdown.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell them to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Pat McAfee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he's able to get it out of there. And this is a pretty good kick. Here's Hester.
And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
So now the Eagles down by 1. A little under 1:50 remaining. A field goal would be a game winner as they come up on first down.
Here we go.
Here's Fields.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Trey Hendrickson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Here comes second down. Back to throw. Fields.
Finding Allen. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now he's flushed out right.
And he will get out of bounds here as well. What a play. Big yardage. They stop the clock, and they move it to the boundary of field goal range as well. Now Fields.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
They'll come up now. This is second and long. All eyes on Fields.
Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here we go.
Now a carry for Allen.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So now it's the Dolphins' turn, trailing by 2 after the made field goal. 26 seconds to go. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on first down. Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He'll look to throw.
To the left side, he's got McConkey.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
And that one is incomplete, and it stops the clock at 12 seconds left in the half.
They'll look to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And out of bounds right around the 20.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field.
Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And they'll remain down by 2. Well, befitting a tight game like this, it all came down to the wire. But in the end, the field goal to win, it goes begging.
Oh, man, that is a tough way to lose a football game. You put yourself in position, and you give yourself a chance, but it's just not meant to be.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we sign off from Miami.